Meeting is being recorded.
Yeah, Ashwini,
Hello.
are you there, Ashwini?
Yes, I'm here. I'm audible.
Am I audible?
Wait. What is happening? Yeah, I can.
You're not audible, Ashwini, if you're talking.
Okay, reconnecting. Just a minute.
Am I audible? Vishal, can you please confirm? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here, sir. Yes. Hello.
Seems I'm not
Hello,
audible.
hello.
Hello, sir.
I can't hear you.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hey, hi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am audible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I think he dropped.
Meeting is being recorded.
Am I audible now?
You're audible now.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what was happened with the mic and Zoom. Sometime it happened. They are not in synchronized.
Okay. Only Ashwini today. Where is Shakil?
Shakil, where's Shakil? Yeah. Shakil want to see today recording.
Okay. Okay, no problem. Maybe he'll join in.
Yeah.
I just informed team to look after him. But
Yeah,
when we do have more candidates, more participants, then it's more fun to teach. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start though. Let's see if he joins in.
Okay, great. Let's start. Work now. Stop.
Okay, so in today's, did you get a chance to create your account, Ashwini, in AWS?
Yes, I have created my account.
Very good. Okay. So you have any past working experience, Ashwini, in AWS account creation?
No, it's
No.
new for me.
AWS console, you never used AWS console before?
No, it's new. I'm basically network security background,
Oh, okay.
switching, firewall, these things.
Okay. Firewall and lots of
Load,
networking components, cider ranges and all. Okay.
load balancer.
Yeah, being an architect, even I have to deal a lot with networking thing. You have to
Yeah,
design
yeah,
everything in networking. I'll tell you one of the request came,
uh-huh.
like we had to set a firewall, with very recent requests which we got, and actually there were many. One of the requests which I got in Zscaler was a
Mhm.
client had a database. and they wanted their applications were hosted on AWS, and whenever they were accessing their applications, whenever the application which was hosted on AWS was trying to access database, which was a kind of service, SaaS as a service which is offered by third party vendor, they their their ID, the traffic which was falling on database was not able to access the database, those database schemas and other things, because it was passing through Zscaler. So there was lots of traffic in between. We had to figure out why that, because in AWS we do have a traffic manager called Route 53. Why that Route 53 traffic manager is not accessible in databases and all. We have to look after a number of different things there. We have to troubleshoot Zscaler. We have to troubleshoot the cloud to a third-party service application connection. And we have to take care of lots of, because everything is private. When you work on an enterprise level company, you cannot afford your application going over public internet. You have to ensure that all your applications is following a private internet path, no public IP, everything is private. So with that private connectivity, third party applications access was going through Zscaler, and we had to look after different angles. It was a complicated task, but yeah, you have to.
Right, it's a complicated.
Yeah, networking is not an easy job, I know. Sim Shakil is in. Hi, Shakil.
Hello, sir. Good morning, good evening. Sorry for joining late.
No problem, no problem. So did you
I'm
get a
ready.
chance to? Yeah, go ahead, please.
I'm ready.
Yeah, cool. So did you get a chance to create your account in AWS?
Yes, I did, sir.
Cool, cool. Okay.
Haven't
So
done anything on it, just only created the account.
that's fine. That's fine. So today, let me just quickly share my screen. So today we are going to talk about permissions, which we have to work on, which we have to set for all the AWS console users, and we have to work on setting up permission boundaries for different group of users. Let me just hide video panel. Okay. So different sort of permission boundaries which you have to set for different set of users, different set of permission boundaries which we have to follow, or different sort of privilege restrictions which we have to follow while we work on while we start using AWS console, because we will be using AWS console as a DevOps engineer, not perhaps as an administrator, not perhaps as a root user. So so um, So when we are using like a DevOps engineer, then there will be certain permission boundaries which we have to abide by, which we have to, with which our access will be restricted. In today's session, we'll learn that. So to begin with, I'll just, these will be the agenda of our today's discussion. We'll take a walkthrough of AWS console first. I'll just show you what are the things there in AWS console, how to perform search for any specific service which you want to look after. Then I'll just give a brief of what IAM is, and then we will take a deep dive in IAM, and then we will understand what are users, what are groups of users, how to create users and groups of users. We'll create a lab also. Then we'll try to understand various sort of policies which we create on IAM console, and then we will talk about MFA, which is multi-factor authentication in IAM, which is identity and access management. So let's begin our session. In order to do that, this is I believe when you created your account there in AWS, this will be the interface, or this will be the dashboard which you will be viewing. So that the dashboard contains console home sort of messages, which shows these sort of certain messages it shows. Now, in case if you have to search for a different service, and what are the different service in the first place which AWS offers? Now, AWS is having a number of things. Let's start with the right. At the right top, you see the ID. So whenever you create your account there with AWS, AWS generates a random ID for you, which is a 12-digit ID it generates for you. So now it allocates for every user whoever creates an account, they get this 12-digit ID for themselves. So now this 12-digit ID is visible there at the right top corner. Just beneath that, it is your AWS account name which you created, which you have put in, which you have selected, which you have passed on while creating your AWS account. While creating, I gave the name as technical trainings for this AWS account which I created. At the left of it, it shows a region where I want to create resources. Now, AWS is having resources which is of two types. One resource which is specific to a region, another resource which is available globally. Once you set, you need to alter it across all the regions. Certain resources which is available, which you can select as per your region are your virtual machine creation. Every user want to have virtual machine created in physical servers, which is located in their own region for multiple reasons. It could be possible. It could be because users want to have their data present in the region where they live in. User want to because of some law of land, perhaps there is some confidential data, especially banks do have their own protocol, their own rules to follow, because of which they won't be able to perhaps their customer or say regional customer data move out of any specific region. For example, if any bank is, for example, in India, we do have State Bank of India. In US, we must have State Bank of America. So quite this, we have people across the globe who is having their account created in bank, who wants their account data, who data not to step out, not to move out of their geographical location. So I have seen it in many of the banks who wants their employees also to work from the same region where they do have their head offices. Now, in such cases, they want any of the virtual machine to be created in the physical server where they are based out of. Now, for example, if I have selected the region as Asia Pacific Mumbai, then the virtual machine which will be created will be carved out of the physical server which is present in the same region. Quite similar to this, we have some block storage also, to which we call as EBS, which is elastic block storage. Any of the storage or any of the database related service you will mostly see is regional, because in this case you have the option to select the physical equipment from where the virtual storage is allocated to you is present in the same region. This is where we choose these regions. There are certain global services also, like identity and access management, which we are going to learn today, is a global service. Once you have applied, you no need to apply it separately for any of the regional users, or say your group of users. They are the global services. For example, when you created your account, you would have passed your regional geographies as your address, as your phone number. But once the account is created, you do have the access to create resources across all the geographical locations where AWS is based out of. So AWS does not restrict, even though you put a specific geography, a specific country, AWS does not restrict you to create resources in that geography only. It says that you can create your resources anywhere you wish to. So all the regions, all the 38 regions where at this point AWS do have footprint on, AWS allows you to create resources across all its global footprints, across its all the global reach. And that is where the certain resources is global, certain resources are regional. Now, Again, these all things are settings and support and notification, and AWS CLI Cloud Shell will understand Cloud Shell, and AWS CLI will try to configure AWS CLI, but not in this session. In our next session, where we'll actually need our command line interface, we'll learn command line interface of AWS also. Now, when you come to left, there is, or before search, I would like to explain this. What is this icon? So once you click on this icon, all the services which AWS offers appears here. Everything which AWS offers appears here. So if you click on all services, then you see all the services which AWS offers is arranged alphabetically. Now, all the services, you see AWS is having App Fabric, and we know to learn everything because there are, like, as I said, more than 350 services is as of now offered by AWS. And in your lifetime, you won't be able to use all the services. We'll be using only certain services, which is very much specific to our job role. And everyone does it. Even I don't know many of the services, being very frank, which AWS has offered. Now, certain services which we'll be using a lot will be where is that? EC2, EFS, Elastic Beanstalk, Elastic Container Services, which will be, being a DevOps engineer, will be using a lot, because our main job will be to look after virtual machine, infrastructure, pipeline, automation, and others. So this, but in order to buy, in case if you want to know all the services which is offered by AWS, you can click on this icon, and as you click on this, all the services which is offered by AWS is arranged alphabetically. So there are two options in case if you want to choose any specific service. Either you click here, you will get all your options listed here, and then choose which service you want to access. For example, in case if I want to access EC2 as service. And I'm talking more about EC2 because EC2 is very commonly used service in AWS, which we are going to use a lot in our demo in our lab also. So now EC2, in case if I have to search for EC2, I click on all services, I go to E, and EC2, which stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. So now as I click on this, it is going to open me EC2 dashboard. So this is one of the option. It opens me, but many a times you don't want to do this because you click here and then you look for a number of different options, and then you find out, okay, fine, which is the option which I want to use. You don't want to do that. And that is where AWS says that fair enough. If you don't want to do this, I give you another option to search from, which is this search. So now here also you can just type EC2. As you type EC2, option opens here as well. So you can search for any of the service which you want to use by typing in its name here in the search bar, and it opens quite the same dashboard, exactly the same sort of dashboard interface you will find as you search it. So this is about AWS. Another thing which is very much important for you to understand in AWS is your billing, because though you won't be charged anything for 750 hours per month for resources, especially the EC2 instance which you're going to use, and many other services are there which is free of cost, which we'll gradually get to know. But if you want to know the billing, then you have to just click on the drop down menu. So like an account ID, there is a drop down. As you click here, there is something to which we call as billing and cost management. So as you click on billing and cost management, you end up opening another dashboard, and that dashboard is something which talks about the that talks about your billing, your content management, and other stuff. So let it open. Okay, yeah, billing and cost management. Now you see billing and cost management. Now, since I did not use much for this month, it's showing $0.00 which is in use. But based on based say in case if you would have chosen certain, or if you would have worked on certain services which is not under free tier, which does not fall under the category of free tier, then you end up paying some amount of money, and it will be visible here. It's like free tier which is the all the services which I've used, which falls under the category of free tier is data transfer. I used Elastic Cloud Compute. I used VPC, which falls under the category of free tier. Now under VPC, as you can see, 750 hours free for 12 months as a part of AWS. Like yesterday, we were seeing it is for 6 months, but when I created this account, it was for 12 months. I think by as at this point of time, AWS has reduced it and reduced from 12 months to 6 months. But perhaps when you create an account, try to see here in case if it's showing 6 months. I don't know. Maybe it could be some recent release by AWS. Now here you see a number of different services are there. Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute Cloud, which is EC2, which is again 30 GB per month for free for 12 months as a part of AWS free usage. AWS data transfer is also free. So many other services are there, which falls under the category of free tier, which won't incur any cost till the time you are within the limit of 750 hours, and that will be applicable for 6 months, I think, at this point. So now when I click on the billing and dashboard, this will be the place where I can see cost summary. I can see the details and breakdown of cost summary based on the services which I've used. For example, for the last time when I used uh, where it incurs certain cost was June 2025, which was long back now. Now you can group by services also. You see, the services also, which is specific to any region, which is specific to your linked account. You can just customize your dashboard based on what actually you have which services data you want to look after, right? So this is very much important. You can view a web bill also, and you can do many other things. So this is how AWS dashboard looks like. This will be the way you will be using AWS dashboard. We'll be seeing as you'll have more and more idea of AWS services. You will explore AWS services a lot, and then you will understand usage of these console a lot. Okay, so now another thing which we will learn today will be identity and access management. But first, let's understand why do we need identity and access management. So identity and access management is very, very much important in while we are using AWS console. Why it's important? Let's try to understand that part. Now, in order to understand that part, we'll be talking about certain set of users or certain team who is basically a part of your organization. In an organization, maybe we have a team of developers. We have team of maybe I'll say ops team. We have maybe database team. We have maybe storage team. We have maybe storage team. Now, dev team and on top of everyone, we have maybe admin team. Now, these are different teams. We have admin team, we have developer team, we have operations team, we have database team, we have storage team. Now, admin team will have maximum privileges because admin team is the team who is like the root user, who is like going to manage everything, who is going to manage billing, who is going to take care of your all the services, who is the say consider that AWS comes up with some new security or new policies which admin wants to impose across all the services or impose across all the user base or impose across all the groups of users or impose across all the users who are using the account at this point of time. It will be administrator who will be dealing with it. It's like, for example, if we use internet connection at our home, what we do is we call to our ISP provider, we call to our internet service provider, and they reach out to our place and they set up some router at our place. That doesn't mean that we are the owner or we are the administrator of that ISP. Administrator is someone else. We are just the user. We are using those services. We are using the internet service which is provided by ISP, but someone else is maintaining everything all the what sort of static or public IP gets allocated to my router is decided by that administrator. That is administrator. Now these administrator are root users. These administrator do have the root user privileges. So these administrator will have root user privileges. Root user is like the user who is having maximum privilege in his account. None other than root user will have that privilege. Not even administrator user will have the privileges like root user in any of the AWS management console. So root user will have maximum privilege. They can do anything. Say in case if you're working, tomorrow company think that okay fine, I have to terminate one resource from my organization, then it will be the responsibility of root user to delete all your credentials, all the information which is present in AWS accounts, so that you won't have any privileges to access any of the AWS account. Or say in case if you joined in any organization, then it will be the root user. It will be the root user who will be just perhaps provide you certain privileges. And under a root user category, there comes administrator user also, which we'll talk about. So root user in short is the user who is having maximum privileges in an account. Now, after a root user, and root user is created by default. As you create your account, the privilege which you will be granted to work on the account will be a root user. So you will be root user for the account which you are going to create. Once the root user is created, after that, you being the root user will have capacity to create users. You'll have the capacity to create a number of things. You'll have the capacity to create users. You'll have the capacity to create groups of users. So you can do anything. So you'll be able to create users. So user 1, 2, 3, 4, you'll be able to create it. You'll be able to group these all the you say if you want to group all these 4 users and you want to put it in a group 1, you will be able to do that. So group is it's like you want to group multiple users together so that you will be able to manage it properly. You will be able to provide some sort of privileges which is inherited by all the user who is a part of the group. But why do we create user or why do we create group? Let's try to understand first. Why do we create group? Now coming back
No,
to our previous.
sorry for the interruption. Just want to know how you did this get page? From where you are getting this page?
Sorry, which page?
I'm identify. Is it AWS dashboard or is your
No, no, no,
own?
no. This is just OneNote. This is just a kind of notepad
Okay,
flow.
one node. Right.
This is not AWS.
Uh,
I'll
uh,
tell you when I'm going into AWS Management
okay.
Console. I'll tell you.
And sir, please take a gap in every 10 minutes, right? So that gap like
Sure.
you can ask cross questions so that because a continuous learning for us even we need gaps of 10 minutes, 15 minutes like that.
Yeah, sure. That's what I do, Ashwin. Basically, once I complete the flow, see, these are very small topics, right? I mean, these are
Okay.
very silly topics. I've gone through the console interface, and it's more like just showing you some icons which is present on console. Not that important. When I'm covering any important topic, I do have this habit to give a pause at
Okay.
regular intervals. So certainly, I'll give some pauses. Don't worry.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, but do we have any question till here?
Not like.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
A quick question. So,
yeah.
root user has the highest privilege, and then comes admin
Then comes admin. Yes.
next. Okay.
But sir, normally admin has everything that they want to do. Root user has some everything, but not like admin.
Yeah, but
Like
here
it is
root user,
equivalent to admin.
right? But here root user has everything, and admin
Opposite.
comes after root user. Yes. So here it will be like
Mm,
here the sequence will be first you'll have a root user,
yeah,
first you'll have root user, then under root user you'll have admin user, and under this you will be able to create some custom user. Okay.
okay.
So this will be the sequence which is followed in AWS. Any other question? Cool.
Like
Admin
before you
can
talk.
Go ahead, Ashwani.
You talk about ECS or
EC2.
this EC2. What was that?
Don't
I'm
worry.
not aware.
Don't worry, because we are not even talking about that today. We are talking about IAM. We'll talk about EC2.
Okay.
Today's
So,
focus will
sir,
be
admin can create the users, right?
admin can create users. Yes.
Okay.
So root user will be at the top. If root user blocks anything, even admin user won't be able to access it. It's like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cool. So now we have the users. Certainly, first let's understand when we have group of user and why do we create group of user? Why do we create users? Now you hope you understand that user is something which is pretty much needed, because without user you won't be able to log in. You when you created your account there in AWS, it's more like user in the realm of AWS cloud. You have created an account for yourself. You are one of the user for AWS cloud platform at this point of time. That is the reason you are able to log in. As you created your account, AWS has given you root user privilege. You have everything, all sort of rights in your AWS console to do. Now, what next you can do? Now you are the root user. You will be able to create separate group of users. Now, in terms of IT industry, and I'll just try to relate it with DevOps platform, DevOps profile. In IT industry, we have different teams who works on software development lifecycle process. In software development lifecycle process, we have teams like who takes care of different activity. In IT industry, we have development team. So if I talk about SDLC process, if I talk about entire SDLC process, then in SDLC, we have different teams. We have dev team, we have ops team, and we have DevOps team who works on automation. We have database team. We have maybe if we have networking guy like Ashwani. We have security team. So different team members are there who works together, then and only then a software reaches to customer. Developer works on development activity, operations team works on maintaining infrastructure. They are the hardcore guys who looks after those servers and other things. DevOps guy works on automation of everything. DB guy takes care of databases. They're expert in databases. They know how to execute database commands. Postgres, RDS, a number of databases are there. SQL, a number of databases are there. Networking guy is expert in maintaining, for example, there will be any security related issues in networking, or maybe configuring some internet stuff, or maybe configuring some VLAN stuff. It will be networking guy who takes care of that. Security guy is the person who looks after all the security components so that any of the data who is exposed to customer is prevented from any sort of hacking. So different teams gets involved being a part of SDLC. Now, each of the team is having its own role to play. Ops team won't be doing doing job like developers. Developers won't be doing job like operations team members, and same is applied to other team members also, right? So now, in order to do developer certain specific job, developer will have its own tool stack. Ops team will have its own tool stack. DevOps team will have its own tool stack. We'll focus mainly on what DevOps team looks after. Now, in DevOps team member, you'll have to take care of IAM tool, you'll have to take care of EC2 tool, you have to take care, sorry, service, you have to take care of S3, you have to take care of some databases, you have to look after maybe Elastic block storage, a number of different services you have to look after, and you'll have complete ownership of these all things. You'll have to create user, you'll have to create user groups and all. Now, dev team don't need to create these things. Dev team don't need to work on these many services. So dev team certainly don't need privileges to look after even these services. Ops team will have their own permission boundary, their own services to look after. Now, what AWS says is you will be able to allow users to look after certain services based on their roles and responsibilities. You will be able to allow dev team to look after services which falls under their tech stack. You will be able to allow ops team member to look after the services which falls under their tech stack. Now you can do it in two ways. Say for example, there are 4 person who joined in organization. For example, 4 person who joined in organization is, for example, Mahesh, for example, Alok, for example, Sayed, and for example, say Amit. These 4 guys joined in. Mahesh and Alok, they are a part of DevOps team member. So what you can do is you can assign privileges with which Mahesh will be able to access all the DevOps tools separately. You will be able to assign privileges to Alok, by means of which he will be able to access all the services which falls under his roles and responsibilities separately. You can allocate Mahesh separately and you can allocate Alok separately. But till the time these are only 2 person, it's okay. Perhaps if 2 increases to 10, it's okay. But what if there are more than 2000 employees who falls under the group of DevOps? It will be very tough for anyone to manage it, right? So in order to do that, what AWS says is you will be able to group everyone together. Instead of allocating each individual permissions separately, you create a group. Now what you have done, you created a container. So what AWS says, instead of doing that, you create a container and you name that container as DevOps, and you keep on putting individuals in this group. Now let it be 1, let it be 1000, doesn't matter, because you just have to add that person in this container. You just have to put that container in that person in this container, and whatever the privileges you have granted to this container will be inherited by that person. This is called creating a group. Now you have created a container which is with the name DevOps, and all the employees who falls under this container, who is a part of this container, inherits privileges. So now this is user, this is user group. So group is nothing but the group which contains all the users, by means of which you will be able to manage those users properly. This is called group. I'll give a quick pause. Any doubt till here? These are important things. I've
So,
explained. Yeah.
so sir, it means that we call containers in AWS instead of groups.
No. I just gave some analogy. It's group only. We don't call it containers. Container is a separate thing. Container is a separate concept in AWS. But I just gave an analogy that, there is a kind of container, there is a kind of box wherein you are putting all the employees, all the resources, so that you can group it together. We call it group only. So we have you.
Sir, I have question. Yeah,
Mhm. Correct.
maybe I asked before. Like network automation and DevOps, what are the differences?
Um, okay. So uh, DevOps person takes care of network automation also. For example, I've been a part of team wherein we used to write automation script using Python, using Shell, using Terraform. And by using that automation script, all the steps which you do being a part of network engineer, like you create perhaps a VLAN, you create VPC, you create a subnet, and you allocate certain CIDR range to VPC and Shakil. I mean, these are the terms which is very specific to networking, which Ashwini will understand. I'll explain quite the same thing when I'm covering the topic as VPC. So don't worry. So going back to again your thing, Ashwini. So you have to create VPC, you have to create subnets, you have to allocate IP range to subnets. You have to create perhaps certain resources in those subnets. You have to allocate certain maybe firewall on top of the subnets, subnet level, firewall on top of the VM level, which you will do being a network engineer. And perhaps you will automate everything by writing certain sort of script. Now, being a DevOps engineer, I can do that, but that won't be the only job which I'll be doing being a DevOps engineer. Other than this, I'll be taking care of the monitoring activity. I'll be taking care of the places where I'll ensure that any of the services which I'm offering to customer is resilient, is not having any outage like situation. So basically the scope of DevOps is wider when we compare it with networking automation activity. Networking automation and networking engineer won't have that visibility of what all activities DevOps engineer is involved in, but DevOps engineer will be able to take the charge of whatever automation activity which network engineer is involved in. So this is basically you can say networking in automation is a subset of DevOps. Hope I answered your
Okay.
question.
Yeah. No, fine. So it's like a Python, Ansible, and other language that automation engineers use.
Right.
Same
Right.
is covered in the DevOps session.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, great.
Any other question you have, Sakil? Tell here.
I'm good, sir.
Good. Okay, cool. Okay, fair enough. So this is user. This is user. Hope user and groups. These two concepts are clear. Give
Yes,
me a
sir.
quick thumbs up. Yes. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So now, next thing which we are going to talk about is, let's see the lab part of it. So now, how will you see, Ashwini, which you asked me, how did you reach to that IAM dashboard? So in order to reach to IAM dashboard, on the search bar, you type IAM. As you type IAM here, you see the first option, which is opening now, which says that I have to go to IAM dashboard. So I click here. As I click here, it ends me opening one IAM dashboard. Okay, now did you notice one thing? Okay, did you notice one thing? As I clicked on IAM here, it changed. It changed from Mumbai and now it is converted into global. Why it is changed into global? Because IAM is not a regional service. Now, like the way I explained before, a regional service is the service whose resources will be located in a physical equipment, because whatever you're seeing on AWS console is just the virtual interface, is just the virtual view. These interfaces or these services has to be present there on some physical device, some actually hardware device, which is present in data center, which is managed by Amazon. Amazon is a huge giant organization. All the virtual machine which we are going to use, which all the companies are using at this point of time, is actually carved out of, is actually created in some physical equipment, some physical server, which is present in those data center, but those data centers are managed by AWS. Now, when it changes into global, that basically means this IAM service is hosted on some application, is this IAM application can be hosted anywhere across the globe, right? So certain serve offerings are in the form of regional service, certain offerings are in the form of global service, which can be anywhere, which we don't know, which we will never get to know until unless we ask AWS going forward. Okay. So now in this interface, you are seeing something to which we call as user groups, user roles, policies, and couple of other things. First, we'll focus on users. How will we create user in this 8 Now, in order to do that, what I'll do is I'll just make this screen bit smaller. This guy, let me just hide this also. Okay, because I want to keep two screens together. And if it's not visible to you, then I'll just do a alt tab and I'll take it there. Let me first create a user, then I'll come back there. Okay, fine. I'll create a user. So let's click on a users. And now I'm going to create a user. As of now, one user is already there, but I'll create another user. In order to create a user, what I've done is I've searched for IAM in this search bar. Then I went to users. As I click on user, this window open. Now in this window, I'm going to click on create user. Now, as I click on create user, it's asking for a user name. So I'm going to give a name, demo user, any name you can give. Now it is asking in case if I want to provide user access to the AWS Management Console, which I want to give. Now, next it says specify a user in the identity center. Identity center is a much wider concept. It is more when you want to restrict access to a user on the basis of Active Directory level, on the basis of LDAP level, then we use identity center and other. For that, you should have a separate server, separate LDAP server, and separate other servers. You being a DevOps engineer, no need to deal with these things. It's mostly the task of those access management team, those AD management team, which works for an organization. We don't deal with DevOps engineer, don't deal with these LDAP and Active Directory stuff. Now, next thing is I want to create an IAM user, which I want to do.
Sir, I don't have that option on my page. I only have username and then console password.
You don't have this?
Yeah,
Which
I don't
option
have
you don't?
user type. So mine is probably a very cheap one.
Yeah, could be. Because I am into a paid version of AWS console. So that could be one of the reason you are in a free tier.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
Could be.
let's proceed, sir.
Yeah, could be. Okay. But I think
in that case,
go ahead.
we need to do the practice with the same concepts.
Yeah, same concept. It doesn't change. You have the option which I'm going to show it to because I will be demonstrating you keeping that thought in mind that you are a free tier user. All right. I won't be demonstrating you keeping a thought that you are a paid user. And quite the same thing we do in real time also. I won't be able to show you the enterprise level AWS console because I do have access. It's not like I don't have access, but again, you understand, right? It's company policies. I won't be able to demonstrate that to you, but quite the same thing will be there in enterprise level setup also. Doesn't change.
Okay.
I think.
It's okay, sir, if you want to show us the paid version options also. So we will learn because in the real environment, we're going to be working on probably the paid version. Absolutely. And we'll face all these options that we don't have in our free account.
Absolutely. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So now I'm just creating a user at this point of time. So in order to create user, the first thing which it asked is username. I checked this box because I wanted to provide user access to AWS Management Console. Next is auto-generated password or custom password. Now say I want to create a custom password because I'm creating it for myself. Say in case if I would have created for someone else, maybe if any user joined in and I don't want to take the pain to remember the password which is created for someone else, I would have chosen the auto-generated password. But now I'm creating for myself. So I want to choose a password which I can remember. So I'll just give a password. Okay. Okay. So now I just gave a password. Now what it says, user must create a new password at next sign in. I don't want to do this because I'm just creating for myself. I don't want to change it for the next time when I'm logging in. Okay. So now once I have done this, I click on next. I don't want to save it. Now it says add users. You see, it started asking you add user to a group, copy permissions, or attach policies directly. So what I'll do is I'll add a user to a group. So now what I'll do, I'll create a group also. Along with this, I'll create a group also. So now as it gives me an option just below this page, it gives me an option to create a group as well. Add user to group. It is giving me an option to create a group also. So now I'll click on this option, create group. Now it is asking me what group you want to create. Give a name to the group which you want to create. I'll create a group also, user or demo group. Demo group. And now to this group, I'll give admin access. Can you see this? Admin access. First is admin access. I'll show you what is present, what are the privileges which will be present in admin access in few minutes. I'll check this box and I'll create a user group. Okay, now I've created a group. Now I'll check this box and click on next. So now I created a group. I'm going to create a user. I'll click on next, and next what I can do is I can tag it. Now what happens basically whenever you create a user, you want to tag it. The tag is having a key value pair. Now what the key value pair could be? Demo user. For example, I want to add some project name, maybe some name, project name, and this demo user is a part of project which takes care of, say, maybe finance, some project to which this demo user is working for. I've given that as a tag, project name finance, so that later on when I have to delete all the user, once project finance completes, I want to delete all the user who is working for that project. I have this tag with me. I'll be able to delete it. Tag is like a label by means of which I'm grouping. So it's a kind of second level of grouping. First, I'm grouping user based on their roles, responsibilities. Now I'm grouping all the groups perhaps, or now I'm grouping all the user who is a part of the group, so that I'll be able to just label it, so that later on, say in case if I have to manage it based on the label, I can do that. So tagging is again very important thing in any of the resource which you create in AWS, so that you will be able to label it. So second sort of grouping will be by using tag, you will be able to associate certain label to users. Now I'm creating a user. It takes few seconds for user to create. And yes, it is created. Now I know the username, I know the password. I don't need to download anything here. So now continue. So now you see user is created, demo user who is created. Now it is a part of a group. Now you see this Terraform user, which I created earlier 80 days ago, is not a part of the group, but this demo user is a part of a group. Now if I click on demo user, it is a part of a group. Which group it's a part of? Admin access. Now what an admin can do? Admin is able to, now what is this? The thing which you're seeing is a JSON format. Now what this JSON says, I'll explain you. This is something, this JSON says that the version is something. What is this version? Version is the version of the language which is used to write this JSON script. You no need to write this because AWS provides everything in a graphical user format, and wherever it will be needed to write, I'll explain you. So now this, with this admin access, what you got a JSON file, and this JSON file says the version of the language.
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Can you repeat this, the JSON thing? I was not paying attention. I'm sorry,
Sure,
my bad.
sure, no problem. So what happened is, I'll just come back again to users. Start from here. So now I got this user interface. Now, as I click on this user, the one which I've created, it shows that I do have, I'm a part of a group, the group which is a demo group. And the permission which I do have as of now is admin access. How this permission came? This permission is attached via group, which is demo group. So it's not as in this user had any privileges of its own. No, this user got the privileges because this user is a part of demo group, right? So this is attached via demo group. So this is inherited from demo group. Now what this admin access, what the permissions will be there for this admin access, or this user who is having admin access. So now there's a plus icon. As you click on this plus icon, this expands and this give you the details of whatever permission is associated to this group from which this user has inherited at this point of time. It starts with version. What is this version? This version is the version of the language which is used to write this JSON. Each of the JSON can have one or many statements. So this is the syntax by means of which these permissions are created. First thing is version. Version says the version of the language which is used to write this JSON. Second thing, statement. Each of the permission can have one or more than one statement within it. Within the statement, it is, and these are mandatory things. Version is mandatory, statement is mandatory thing. Within statement, there is something to which we call as effect. You want to allow this user to have certain access to certain resources. You want to deny this user to have certain permissions. For example, you want Mahesh and Alok to have permissions to create EC2. You will say, I'm allowing Mahesh and Alok to create resource to create EC2 resources. You want to deny permission to Syed so that Syed won't be able to create any resource there in EC2. So you will say deny, you won't say allow. You want to say and to Amit, you want to allow certain permissions, you want to deny also to certain resources. In that case, you will create two statements in one permission boundary. In one statement, you will have allow, in another statement, you will have deny. So this is the effect. Effect says if you are allowing it or if you are denying it. Another thing is action. Action is applied to action is to action is it's more like you want to apply this allow permissions to, and under allow also there could be different type of actions which you want to perform. You want to perform, say for example, I do have 10 users. Then you want to just list down the user. You want to say get the user details also. You want to delete the user. You want to manage the user so that you can add permissions later on. You can remove permissions later on. So there could be different permission boundary: list, get, update, and delete. Normally, whenever you use any of the service, you will have different types of permission boundary, or different types of, I'll say, different types of activities or actions which you can perform. Actions is categorized in list, get, and this is applicable to any service, any resource. List, get, update, and delete. This action tells out of this four category, which one you want to do. You want to list, you want to get, you want to update, or you want to delete. As of now, it says that I want to perform all the four things. Everything which falls under list category, everything which falls under get category, everything which falls under update category, and everything which falls under delete category. And the fourth option, which is resource, it says star. Star is a wildcard. That basically means all the resources, all the 384 resources, which is exposed by AWS at this point of time. I want to allow in all the 304 resources. To summarize, this this JSON file at this point talks about which version of the language I've used to write this JSON. And within that, we have one statement only. And that statement says, I'm allowing all sort of action, list, get, update, and delete, all sort of actions on all the resources which is present in AWS, which is offered by AWS at this point of time. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah,
So JSON is a language?
Uh, JSON is not a language. I'll say JSON is a syntax.
Okay.
It's a format.
okay, sir. Just tell me, like this is programming coding like that. So in the statement we use, brackets, colon. So when it is required, where it is required. Because if you are asking me, I can, write a statement without brackets, without colon as well. Even like what is the rule of that one?
Don't worry, we'll learn that.
Like
It's,
I can see two,
I
three
understand.
brackets, then three closer bracket. Why closer bracket not use after action like that, after effect like that?
Don't worry, we'll learn that. It's very early to learn these things. You
So
won't understand anything now.
it is DevOps job to know JSON.
Yes, somehow.
Yeah, I'll say if you are very beginner to DevOps, certainly no. But as your experience grows, certainly expectation by company, expectation by recruiter will be high on you. At that point in time, at least you need to understand. Perhaps you won't be expected to write these just on because that is developer's job. But yes, you should be able to understand to what is written once you are presented any JSON file to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And what are resources here? You said 384 resources. Resources like services or the
Services,
application?
services, all the services which is offered by AWS, everything.
Okay.
Any other question?
And in the action, there is a list. What exactly list?
See, for any of the service, for any of the resource, there is a list, update, or list, get, update, and delete. List is like if you have 10 users
Mm-hmm.
and you want to just list down all the user which is present in this account. That action is called list action. For example, if you have
Mm-hmm.
database and that database contains list of all the employees who is working on
Mm-hmm.
a project, you will run a query, right? And that is how even your ID will be listed when you work for an organization. Your ID will also be listed. Someone runs a query and it creates list of all the employees. Listing is that action which is performed.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Any other
Even
question?
I have, experience in C, C++, and I learned little bit Python self. I
Oh,
can understand. Yeah.
that will be help then.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other question till here?
Yeah, good,
I
sir.
take it as a no. I take it as a no. Cool. So let's end up today here only. We are already on top of time. And then tomorrow, perhaps we left certain topics for today. I think 2 topics are left out. So can we start tomorrow from tomorrow sharp at 10 so that we have complete 1 hour of time to cover up the session?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. And like it's a 7 days batch, right? It's not weekdays, weekend
5
like
days
that.
batch, not weekends. Tomorrow, day after, we won't have session.
Only Monday through Friday.
Yes,
Okay, sir.
Today is Friday.
today's Friday. Yes,
So next session would be on Monday,
yes,
not today or tomorrow, sorry.
not tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. One more thing I want to add, like during the session or during the program, it's quite possible we interrupt you or jump in like me
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
Shakil.
Yeah, ask me, no problem. It's
So
fine.
please allow us, because if we don't jump in, it means our mind stuck there and we continuing for next 5 to 10 minutes.
That's fine.
And
That's fine. That's
please
fine.
allow us, and you can stop us when something is really urgent. You can okay, give a before what I can say. You can define as okay to just wait for 10 minutes. It's a main topic. After that, you can ask question like that.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's
You
not
have
a
the
problem.
privilege, sir. Yeah.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay,
Any
good.
other thing?
It's fine. Yeah, it's like starting. We are moving ahead step by step, slowly, slowly. But when we get the pace, of course, then we are in good flow.
Right. Okay. Then thanks. Let's join in again on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.